Hi there, I am Dana Lou Canis, Executive Director and Independent Consultant with Pink Zebra Home, and I am doing another video. So this particular video is all about how I work my business. I actually began in 2011 and was able to quit my corporate job within 5 years of joining. Now, keep in mind, when I joined, I just wanted the discount. But the reason I'm telling you this is regardless of when you start, if you make a plan and have a goal and write it down, that you can absolutely achieve your goals. There are a lot of people that have joined much later in the game than I did that are doing the same thing. They quit their jobs, they've replaced an income, all of those things. So, and maybe that's not what you're looking for. Maybe you're just looking for some extra money, or you're looking to earn an incentive trip every year. That's fine. But if in fact you are wanting this to be a real business, then you'll want to treat it like one. And that's where I kind of come in and tell you what I did. So the biggest thing, and there's actually, I did this last year for a reunion, talked about how I have a well-rounded business, because I feel like I have a very well-rounded business. I have my own business that I take care of, meaning my own sales, my own customers, and the way I do things. And then I have my team responsibilities and trying to help anybody that is looking for help and that sort of thing. So how do I do all of that? I am very organized. No, no, seriously though, I do have a plan every single day, Monday through Friday at least. I get up early in the morning when my husband is leaving to go to work. I'm up. I am ready to conquer the day. I always start off with a little exercise. I drink my coffee. I have a little quiet time. I particularly like to read the Bible, or I will read maybe a motivational, speaker type thing. I'll do something for my mindset that day. And that's just a must. I have to do that, because that way, when things start coming at me, I'm ready. The other thing I will tell you is that I do not pick up and start playing on my phone first thing in the morning. I don't roll over and open Facebook. In fact, I do not open Facebook or Instagram or my emails until I'm done with my quiet time and my exercise and my coffee. So, but usually, I mean, that's only about an hour and a half into my morning. It doesn't take a whole lot of time to do all of that. But that I do strictly for my mindset. And I've talked about, and I've written blogs about mindset. That is so incredibly important. I never really realized how important it was until I did some coaching with Brendon Burchard's group a few years back. But wow, when I implemented some of those things, it completely changed my day and the productivity that I was able to put out. So totally changed everything and helped me to become much more organized. I'm a firm believer in a calendar, a planner. I will write down every appointment that I have, obviously, but I also will block off time for the certain things that I know I need to get done. So if it's my blog and I'm needing to write my blog, or I'm needing to come up with some ideas, I have a time block off to do that on Thursdays. Those are my marketing. That's my marketing and fun day. It's a Thursday, and here I am doing a video. These are the kind of things that it's kind of cool, because, like, let's say, for example, on Monday, and I'm writing my blog and I'm doing this, and all of a sudden I come up with a really cool idea for marketing. I will actually write it on my planner for Thursday, and I won't look at it again until Thursday, because Thursday's the day I'm going to do my marketing. Or let's say on Monday, I think, oh my goodness, I need to follow up with Susie. She got her order last week. I want to see how it was. Well, I will make a note on Wednesday, because Wednesday is typically the day that I follow up with my customers, parties, all of that kind of stuff. That's the day that I'm going to do that. So I will actually make a note on Wednesday to reach out to Susie. What this does is it keeps me from jumping all over the place, because we can't help it. Our brain, we think of things and it's like, oh my gosh, I got to remember to do that. Well, if you stop what you're doing, you may call it multitasking. I call it, I'm not doing anything 100% great, because I'm all over the board. So instead, you make a note to the day you're going to do it. And then you don't have to think about it again until that day. So you're able to stay on course get right back to what you were doing without taking your brain to a whole nother place and then trying to come back and get back in the groove. That's too hard for me. So this totally works. And I talk about this a lot more in a couple of my blogs. But anyway, I do want to mention that because I believe that has truly helped me have a well-rounded business. In the beginning, when I first started doing that, I did work a full time. I was in hotel sales management. So I worked about 50 to 60 hours a week, Monday through Friday, some evenings and some weekends. So I had to fit Pink Zebra in where I could. And what I started off with was, I'm going to do one thing every day for my business. And when I say one thing, I mean something productive. Maybe it's making samples. Maybe it's contacting some people. Maybe it's figuring out what I'm going to post on social media. But back then it was one thing a day. Once I started getting in a groove and I realized, you know what, I want to do this all the time. Like, the money's great. I want to keep building this business. Maybe one day I can quit my job. Well, that's when I started doing 3 things every day. Monday through Friday, I would do 3 things a day for my business. And it really worked out great for me because they could be simple things, but what it did was it got me basically, it got me to where repetitively I was working on my business. It was just a normal thing. This is what I'm doing. You know, no matter what's going on over here with my other job or my family or whatever, as long as I get those 3 things done, and they can be any little 3 things, get those things done, I'm right back to what I was doing. It's amazing. You can actually get into a really good routine to where now, honestly, like, even though I know I'm kind of technically working on the weekends because I've got my phone and I'm answering questions, I'm talking to people about the business, but I have so much fun doing it that it's not really work, right? But it is a habit, I guess. It's kind of a habit for me. So it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I mean, I can absolutely, if I decide I'm taking a break from my phone, I literally will to put my phone on silent and I will leave it in a room or in the vehicle or whatever. And I go about my day spending it with my husband or my family or whatever. But I always go back and I end up doing 1 or 2 things every single day for my business. And that's okay, because that means I'm completely committed to it. I'm completely attached to it. And I'm going to hit the goals that I want to hit because it is important to me. The other cool thing about doing this kind of thing where you're consistently every day doing a little something is on the days that you're just not feeling it, you'll still do it. In fact, those are the days sometimes that I push myself a little harder. Like, you know what, you really need, you got to get into the right space and get this done, because I got to remember what my big goal is. And that's what I got to stay focused on. So that leads me to the whole why. You've got to know why you're wanting to work this business. If it's a hobby, great. Treat it as a hobby. But if you're wanting to make a difference, if you're wanting to change lives, if you're wanting to build a business, if you're wanting to put your kids through school, if you're whatever it is, if you're wanting that, you have to treat this like a business. You absolutely have to. So I try now, because I do have team and I have my own personal business, right? So now what I try to do is basically set an example. So I want to make sure that my team, or that my personal sales are always 1, 2, 3,000 a month, which means I'm working my business. It means I'm getting out there and having parties. I'm getting out there talking to customers. I'm doing whatever I need to do to build my personal business. There's a couple of reasons why this is good, because then I'm never out of touch. I always kind of know what's happening in the real world, right? Because if you sit back and you don't do it for a while, it's like, oh my gosh, how does this work? But I'm constantly doing it. I'm finding new ways to work the business. And it's just keeping me engaged. And I've got a great customer base. I mean, things are great there. And I'm happy with $2,000 to $3,000 in a month. I am a pink sapphire and I'm very proud of that. I know we have new levels of sapphire, and I know there's some people that are already there or on their way. And I think that's fantastic. But for me, if I'm doing this and I've got a good customer base and I'm keeping my customers happy, then I can focus on my team. And I spend a lot of time there where I'm either doing, one-on-one with the team members, or I'm answering questions, or I'm creating content, or I'm doing a blog that hopefully they can utilize. There's a lot of that. So again, you want to make sure you're working your business as well as helping your team, because if you're not working your business, that's kind of tough. The other thing about being well-rounded is I don't just do one thing. So before the pandemic, I was very much involved in my networking groups. Now they've all come back around, so it's happening again. But during the course of that year, a lot of people had to resort to doing everything online. And we have some incredible, very talented people that came up with games and different ways of doing things online. So that's fantastic. That's just one way you can work your business. I personally like to get out in front of my customers. I like people to touch and feel our Pink Zebra products. So I like to have parties. I like to do open houses even at my house. I like to be involved in my networking groups where I'm meeting new people. I love to do events. I don't do the big, huge, giant events, but I do good-sized events where I get to meet people and introduce new people that have never tried Pink Zebra. I absolutely love that. I love to do party on the goes. A party on the go is where you basically put some items in a bag or a bucket and you give it to someone who maybe sits in an office. They can actually put a simmer pot and some sprinkles on, take it out of the bucket, put it on, turn it on, let everybody kind of smell it when they're walking by. And they can have a party right then. They get free and half priced items just for doing that. So there's party on the go is another way to do your business. Catalog parties are great too. Send out some catalogs to some friends and give them some samples and tell them that they can earn free and half priced items if they want to do it that way. There are just so many ways to work our business. We have the Blend Bash, which is fantastic. We have different themes, which makes it just that much easier to do a Blend Bash with a theme. So people love mixing their own scents and creating their own recipes. So that's a fantastic way to do business. And then of course your online parties. We have people that's all they do. Maybe they can't get out and about, so they're doing online parties. So you can, go right to your social media to do that. There are just so many ways to work your business. So I would recommend, me personally, I don't do just one thing. I try to do several different things all the time. And so I feel like I am able to touch a lot of people that way. And it works for me. If you want to do all of yours on social media, that's great. Do it on social media. But the bottom line is there are so many ways to work your business. Just figure out what works for you and then make the most of it. If it's playing games, if it's doing things on social media, if it's, meeting people in person and doing it that way, there's so many ways to do things. So I will say that only posting on social media may not get you very far. You kind of have to do a few other things. Only because of the algorithms. Nowadays, our social media platforms, unless you've been doing it for a while or you do video and that sort of thing, the reach won't be that great. So that's why I do recommend doing some other things as well. But you definitely want to be posting on social media. And I do a whole training and blog on that too. So anyway, I hope that was helpful. Enjoy it, whatever it is you're doing. I mean, you can hear my dog scratching over there. He's scratching his pillow, trying to make it perfect. But anyway, it's your business. So you work it how it's going to work best for you. The main thing is to enjoy it. People are going to see that you're having fun with it and that you're committed to it and that you're doing it all the time. And they will want to know what you're doing. They may not always comment when you do make posts. They may not even like the comment or the post that you've made, but I promise people are watching. So with that being said, keep posting and be sure you're posting positive stuff all the time and things that are helpful, maybe things that are of value to somebody else. So those are just some of the tips from me. But anyway, good luck to you with your well-rounded business, and I wish you much success. Thanks.